Hello. Hi guys. Hi everybody. So I'm back today with a very surprising video that most people have never seen me do in this whatever. But today I'm here to let you know that I have a testimony. It's been a while since I did a testimony. Life is so private that we don't say some things, but actually there are other things that pushes us to speak, maybe probably at the right time, if I may say. Um, Early this year, to cut the story short, I went through a surgery process, and before I talk about this, I'm doing this video to let you know my encounter in heaven. And this happened so soon, that is last week on Friday evening, that is on 3rd October 2025. And it happened like a normal thing. But afterwards is when I realized that, oh my God, I was in heaven. But, oh my God, you know, I was in heaven, but, it can just happen to anyone. And I'm getting there to explain to you about how I got to heaven. So, first thing backward, early this year, I went through a surgery process. This is a testimony that I'm giving out, and I want you to understand this when I start explaining on how someone's memory get erased when you die. Like literally, you don't remember anything of this world, like you leave this world behind, kabisa. So you don't even remember your relatives, you don't remember your kids, you don't remember your brothers and sisters. It's so surprising. When you leave this world, you just forget. That way unaonanga watu wengi before hata wakufe, before they go like ile literally kabisa, mwili imeachana na soul, they are already dead. Like unapata mtu amekuwa msick for some time, but akumbuki hata watu wao, ama amezeeka sana to the level that memory yake imeanza kuerase. Huwezi kumbuka mtu, huwezi kumbuka vitu. So before ukufe, before you die kabisa, you like your memory inaendanga ikidelete a lot of things, inaendanga ikidelete. Sasa ndo naonanga mtu akiishia ameishia because yani imefika hiyo time. The reason why I'm saying this, it's because when I take through the story so that you can understand what I really mean, that I went on a deep vision. This is on last week on Friday, 3rd October 2025. I had an encounter of something, and I was a bit disappointed. And I went to my room, that is my bedroom. I slept on my bed and I was thinking about it deeply, praying about it. And this was 1 a.m. in the morning. So I was just there praying. I had not even closed my eyes. I was praying, just meditating and talking to God and asking God, why do all these things happen to my life? How am I going to survive in this world that is so cruel like this? And I got deep in prayer and I began speaking in tongues, and I got carried away. The next thing I saw, I was in heaven. And surprising enough, oh my God, I was speaking to God and God was speaking to me. And I saw heaven, guys. Whoever says that heaven is not real, it is real. I've been hearing testimonies of people say that they have visited heaven, but it happened to me. I used to ask myself, how can I see heaven while I'm still on earth? My goodness, guys, heaven is so beautiful. That place cannot be compared to any other place under the sun. That is a place of itself. And that relates to me that when God said that He has gone to prepare a place for us, a better place for us, for sure, it is true. Heaven is beautiful. Heaven is sweet, sweeter than honey. Oh my God, the feeling in heaven is beyond measures, is beautiful. You cannot compare that place with earth. You can't. It is a city filled with gold. I saw all this, and the feeling was so beautiful. I was lost in joy. And I was like, God, if this is what heaven feels like, then the feeling in me will not let me go back to earth. And I'm telling you, that place is awesome. That is the place that anyone can wish to live for the rest of their lives. There is no pain, there is no sorrow, there is no hate. There is only joy, beautiful moment, and imagine it is forever and ever. I wouldn't wish to come back. I wouldn't wish to come back. And God showed me the difference between the heaven and earth. And when I was in heaven, I could see earth as a small village. It was just like a small village. The things that you see or the buildings that you see that as if they are really big is just like a small village. And God told me that you cannot compare heaven to earth, or you cannot compare earth to heaven. Akaniambia, you see the distance between the earth and the heaven? That is how you cannot compare the earth to heavens. You know, sometimes here on earth, I could just have a beautiful feeling of enjoying life here. And somehow ningesema, I used to find myself saying that this is heaven on earth. I will never say that again. Because for sure you cannot compare heaven to this earth. And God told me, you know, earth is very harsh. Remember, I was praying in disappointment. And I came to understand that God wanted to take me away. But I resisted. Because I know how I have been speaking to God and the assignment that I have here on earth, I had so much confidence of telling God, I am ready to go back to earth. And not until I fulfill the assignment that you have put ahead of me, God, I am not coming to heaven. Yes, God, I know this is the place that you've prepared for me. You've already shown me how it looks like. I have already had a feeling and encounter of how heaven is, the sweetness, how beautiful it is. And that is the place that I'm going to live forever and ever. But I asked God one question. Who is going to finish the assignment that is ahead of me? And I told God I want to go back. I was that confident. I have been praying. We've been talking to each other with God. And I know where He's taking me. So I had this beautiful courage to tell him I want to go back, so that when I come back here in heaven, you will crown me mightily and you crown me big for the work that I've done and accomplished here on earth. Brethren, I want to let you know that we are all called to serve God. We are all called to create an impact here on earth. You know, God told me that this world is so harsh, and especially for the chosen people or chosen servants like us, we are set apart to fulfill a certain assignment. And the world doesn't love us. I'm sorry to say this. If I tell you whatever I have been through in this life, you won't believe it. I keep so many things to myself, but that tells me that I am set apart to fulfill a certain assignment. I asked myself, God, if I live today, those that are not saved, who is it that is going to preach to them so that they can get saved? I was so merciful to anyone who has not given their lives to Christ. And if you miss heaven, you won't miss hell. And guys, please, make sure that you purpose to see heaven. When I came back, it's like my memory and erased. And previously, as I told you about the erasement of memory, I went through a surgery process this year. And I laid in the hospital for 1 week. Anyone who has gone through anesthesia understands this, because it is either you are a half dead. And when the anesthesia got off my body and came back, during the healing process, psychologically, I was not okay. It is now that my memory is loading and getting back to normal things here. It's like I was already gone. I used to forget even the slightest things, very small things, and I'm like, God, why? What's up with me? And I could just be amazed of like, how can I have forgotten this? And it's when I came to understand. It's like I had gone, but God decided to bring me back. Maybe I could have gone completely, but God brought me back. And then last week I had this encounter. And when I came back on Saturday, that is the day before yesterday, I had an event. And I was like, God, I would want to share this with your people so that they can know heaven is real. But God gave me a different strength. I was not able to speak it out. It was a birthday party. I didn't say anything. Now, yesterday, I stayed normal. I was like, maybe it's a normal thing. But yesterday in the evening, it just caught me up again. And I was like, no, this is not a normal thing. I have to share it with people. And that is when I realized, yes, for sure, I was in heaven. And I have to speak it out to people and let them know that heaven is real and heaven is beautiful. And oh my God, that is the place I would wish everyone to stay for the rest of their lives, forever and for eternity. God is real. He is there. He has prepared a very beautiful place for me and for you to live with Him for eternity. Just trust in Him, believe in Him, get saved today, and start living a holy life. I have never thought that this would happen to me. You know, when you get on a depression, it's like your spirit leaves your body. and then comes back again. I have encountered deep visions many times in my life. I think this is almost the 7th or 8th. There are many that I cannot speak right now, but this is the biggest highlight. Deep visions can happen to anyone. You're not limited. And when this happens, it happens when you least expect it. You remember, I was just in prayer. I got deep in prayer, in the spirit. And I could feel the presence of the Lord in the room. And that's how I left. And my encounter in heaven was like I stayed there for only 30 minutes. But when I came back, because I began praying at 1 a.m., so I got deep in prayer at 2 a.m. So from 2 to 4, I was in deep vision. And when I got back, it was already 4. So in those 2 hours, I was in heaven talking to God. And He told me that this world is so harsh. And for sure, brethren, you can understand how harsh this world is. This is not our home. We have a better place in heaven. And that is where we're going to live. Now I view this world differently. I don't see it the way I used to see it. The things of this world are passing with. When you leave this world, you'll never remember anything about this world anymore. That place is sweet. Heaven is sweet. Anybody who visits there, anyone who can visit there, you don't feel like coming back to earth. Unless you know your mission. That is when you talk to God and tell Him, yes, God, I know this is where I'm coming, but let me finish my assignment first. I was so bold to tell God that. But anyone who can go there, even those who go there, who visit heaven when they are not saved, they don't want to come back. But God tells them, you have to go back and preach Jesus and preach me. And when they come back, those you've listened their testimonies, they come back changed and transformed. Some are shown the mistakes that they are doing on earth, and they change completely and preach about it. All these videos are all over on the social media. Don't take it for granted. It is true, there is heaven. It is true. Believe in God. Believe in Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Just know that there is heaven. And that tells me if you miss heaven, you won't miss hell. And my parting shot is, please serve God. As long as you're alive each day, when you find time, pick something that will impact somebody's life and change somebody. Because by doing that, you're preparing a heaven for yourself. You're going to get a great crown in heaven. We are called here to serve God. God, I know it's like God had already gotten tired. Guys, I've told you I've been through hell on earth. I've been through a lot in this world. And it was a time that God was like, enough is enough. I'm going to take my child away. But I told God, I don't care what I'm going to face.